The number 2 Denver Pioneers gymnastics team is back again for their second meet of the season after a dominant performance in the Collegiate Challenge. Can they keep the momentum going against Minnesota here in front of their home crowd? It's the Pioneers versus the Gophers, and it starts right now on Altitude. From Magnus Arena in the Mile High City, the number 2 Denver Pioneers gymnastics team has its home opener, taking on the Minnesota Golden Gophers. The Denver Pioneers, second in the nation, the highest rank in program history. An exciting time. Matthew McGreevy joined alongside Marcy Jenkins. And Marcy, what a great time to be a Pioneer fan. Melissa Kutcher-Reinhardt has this program going exactly where she wants it to, second in the nation.
They came out just with guns a-blazing last week, and their performances were so solid, and their execution was just perfect, and they really have set the stage for them to show the rest of the nation what they're capable of again this year.
And they have an opportunity to take on Minnesota, who has not had a meet yet, but we see the standings, and Denver has, and that's why they are where they are.
They've had a great start to the season. Minnesota had an inter-squad meet last week, so they have not competed, so their scores have not shown on the rankings yet, but we will see some very strong performances from that team.
And Minnesota ranked 14th in the preseason rankings. Well, for the Pioneers, the keys have got to hinge on their gymnasts that have been their go-tos in the past years, and especially last year when they made the Final Four on the floor. And one of those, well, it's Maddie Carr.
Maddie is a super strong senior. She really has brought some grit and confidence and competition to this team, and she's like a cat. She knows where those landings are no matter where she is, and sticks things that most other people wouldn't be able to stick. So we'll see some really exciting routines from her today.
And on the flip side, Lexi Ramler from Minnesota is a gymnast that Denver is very familiar with.
She rotated with Denver at Nationals last year, and she was the runner-up in the all-around competition at Nationals last year. Just an amazing athlete, and we'll look forward to see some really explosive performances from her and the rest of her teammates.
So the number 2 Denver Pioneers with their home opener, Minnesota Golden Gophers with their season opener, Denver number 2. We have exciting action ahead from Magnus Arena. That's what's up next. It's the Pioneers and Gophers ahead on Altitude. Inside Magnus Arena, the number 2 Denver Pioneers gymnastics team getting ready to go to work against the Minnesota Golden Gophers. For the Pioneers, it is their home opener. They already got their season underway, and they started off in a big way at the Collegiate Challenge. Matthew McGreevy joined alongside Marcy Jenkins as we get a look at Denver's lineup. They will start on the vault.
Denver has a set of very strong vaulters. We're going to start with Alexander Ruiz, AK Subject, Mia Sundstrom, Emily Glynn, Lindsey Brown, and then Maddie Carr. We'll see some of the bigger, more explosive vaults that have the higher difficulty toward the end of the rotation, but a strong lineup for them.
And for the Golden Gophers, this will be their first go-round all the way across the board, and so we'll get a look at who they'll start with.
Minnesota's got a great lineup as well. We see Kristen Quaglia, Hannah Wilmar, Ona Loper, Tiara Salas, Lexi Ramler, and Ivy Liu. And again, watch out for Lexi. She is a great performer. We're going to see her in all 4 events today.
Well, let's take a look into today's match presented by Champion Windows. And Marcy, what types of things are you going to be keying in on this afternoon?
Well, this season they updated the code of points for gymnastics, and they put a lot more into the connections. And the routines, if they do all the basics that they're required to do in a routine, their start value will be a 9.4. In order to get up to that 10.0 start value to start deducting from, they have to do things that will gain them bonus 10. So these connections are going to be huge for them. And then keeping it consistent. So again, the first meet of the season for Minnesota, the second one for DU. Just keep doing consistently what you've done in practice, and really just get those routines out in front of the crowd under your belt, so that going as you progress into postseason competition, it's just more muscle memory than anything. You mentioned Denver's first meet at that Collegiate Challenge, where they were also going up against Auburn, Arizona State, Penn State. They got the best of it, posting a 196.7 first in the meet, looking to do it again. And again, they'll start on the vault with Alexandria Ruiz. It'll be Kristen Quaglia for Minnesota. And the judges are really looking for those handstands right on top of the bar. That's a release move that was added another bonus 10th this year. So those D release moves will gain an additional 10th of bonus. Nice handstand there at the end, a tiny bit short, but nice high. A little short on that one. A nice start for them. Again, left a little bit of room for the judges to take some deductions on those handstands, but a great start. That's what you want. You want to have a smooth routine and hit that landing and really start their momentum for the rest of the...
As we get another look at this.
It's a double tuck dismount. It's not one of the more complex or difficult dismounts to do, but again, a great start for them.
And so AK Subject will come up on the vault for the Pioneers, her second career appearance on the vault.
She's a freshman out of Minnesota, same gym as Maddie Carr. She's a very explosive gymnast. She does a Yurchenko full. Little hop on the landing. Again, early in the season, really want to stick those landings because that vault only starts from a 9.95. She gets nice block off the vault. Just piped down a little bit, actually. She probably could have stayed a little straighter and stuck that landing, but she'll get that the more routine she does here at the University of Denver.
She's a Minnesota native, has to be fired up to take on the Golden Gophers, as is Maddie Carr. And last time Maddie Carr took on the Golden Gophers a couple of years ago, well, she had a pretty good showing, so hopefully AK Subject can do the same. And we'll go back to the bars here as the Golden Gophers will get set. It'll be Hannah Wilmarth.
That's a nice release move. Great height and distance from the bar. Little short on that handstand. Beautiful handstand in the overshoot. Transition back to the high bar. Nice handstand there. Stalter to handstand into a double flyaway. Little step on that landing, but another strong routine. Again, not a crazy amount of difficulty on that dismount, but her release move was beautiful. Overshoot, see right to handstand, exactly what the judges are looking for. Great form. And then her dismount, a double tuck. Again, not one of the most difficult we'll see. Little step on the landing, but a great routine.
That'll bring up Mia Sundstrom, the junior from Boulder, Colorado, for the Pioneers on the vault. She had a 9.75 in the Pioneers' first meet.
And Mia looks super strong this season. Very explosive. She had a great vault last week. Nice height and a tiny little hop on the landing. That was great. I love how she just explodes out of that full twist before she lands. Great job. You see here, great block. Look at the height she gets. Look at the form in the air. And just a little tiny hop on the landing. That will score great for the Pioneers.
Anna Loper competing in the all-around, the junior from Bluffton, South Carolina, for the Golden Gophers now as we return to the bars.
And again, we're looking for those connections in combination. It's called a Maloney into a pack salto. That will give her some bonus tens. Nice handstand there. It's difficult to land that half turn right on top of the bar, but she did a great job. Little short there on that handstand, slight deduction. Giant full again, a little short, double tuck, and a nice step landing. Overall, a great routine, just left a little bit of room there for a few deductions throughout those handstands.
So while we have a quick moment, let's take a look at the injury report presented by Centura Health. And for the Pioneers, it looks pretty good, Marcy.
They're doing great. You know, they have a few people that are still working to get into the lineup on certain rotations, but they actually look very, very strong and no major injuries to report at this time.
They gotta love that in the training room. The no injury report, the injury report with no injuries, that's the best kind. You root for that 10 times out of 10. It'll bring up Emily Glynn for the Pioneers on vault, the junior from Longmont, Colorado. She had a 9.7 in the last meet.
And Emily's going to do a little different vault than we see from some of the other athletes. She does a soup full. Nice. Little bit of over rotation. She piped down there at the end a little bit. I think just needed to maintain that layout position. You'll see here, Fulton, and then she piped down a little bit, made her take a little slide and a little step backwards. So probably right around that 9.7 mark again this time.
Chiari Salas is up next for the Golden Gophers, the sophomore, also competing in the all-around from Henderson, Nevada.
You can see there she's capable of a 9.9. typically the routines get better and better the further along you go in the lineup. Right there on the handstand. They might take a little bit of a deduction for that, but you really want to try to hit those. And she was working hard to be right on top of the bar. Nice handstand there. Giant with a half. Into a release move. Nice job on that one. Beautiful handstand. And getting ready for her dismount. A layout double flyaway. Beautifully stuck landing. That routine had a great amount of difficulty. You can see how happy her team is with that finish. It was a beautiful routine. Just the only thing I can think to take is a little bit on that very first handstand. Look at that nice release move over the high bar. Beautiful handstand at the end. And then that double layout to a stuck landing.
And right into one of the crowd favorites in Lindsey Brown. But first, we take a look at Melissa Kutcher-Reinhardt in her 22nd season as the head coach, and none better than last.
Lindsey does a Yurchenko 1.5. Beautiful little tight slight hop on that landing, but that vault starts out of a 10.0. So leaves a little bit of room for her. We've seen her stick that before. Watch the height she gets on this vault. Finishes the twist way up high. It's a very hard landing to spot. Great job.
We take a look at what she's done in the past, and not many need reminders of what Lindsey Brown is capable of, and she continues to prove it. And now we have Lexi Rambler coming up, and we talked about her on the outset. One to watch.
She has beautiful toe point. Nice Maloney up to the high bar. Pack salto. Another beautiful handstand. Very difficult transition back up to the high bar. Nice job, toe hand. And a full twisting double fly. Just a little slight hop on the landing. That was an absolutely beautiful routine. You can see how she ended up second in the nation in the all-around. Just absolutely beautiful bar worker. Nice transition back to the high bar. And then a full twisting double flyaway. Not many gymnasts are able to do that here in college, and that was just absolutely beautiful. Just a slight step on the landing.
And it brings up Maddie Carr on vault. She had a 9.875 in the last meet when the Pioneers took on Auburn, Arizona State, and Penn State. Came out first in that.
And in her career, she has achieved a 10.0 on this vault. Little hop on landing, but that was, again, a beautiful vault. You can see the distance she gets from the table. Again, she'll do a round off onto the board, back handspring, and a 1.5 twist. Just knows where that landing is. Slight hop on the landing.
So Ivy Liu is up next. She is one of 5 seniors on this Minnesota roster from Montreal, Quebec.
You can see in the background there, Rambler scored a 9.9. Great job for her. Nice transition. Back to a pack salto. Nice job, really trying to hit those handstands. Nice job. Dismount here, double layout. Little tiny hop on the landing, but another super, they had a great bar rotation. Very, very strong routines today. There's a layout. Let go a little bit early. Anytime you see the bar kind of bounce like that, it means they released just a teeny bit early, so caused her to jump a little bit, take a little hop forward, but great job.
Well, a good start both ways. Certainly the Pioneers trying to keep up the momentum from their last meet, and again came in with a program high second ranking, second in the country. Marcy, was that the start you were looking for?
That was a great start for both teams, actually. And the thing that we love as gymnastics fans is to see both teams do really well and see how it ends up at the end of the meet. But great start for both teams. I think that Minnesota will be very happy with this away performance on bars as their first meet of the season. We have one more bar team to come up. It's Lexi Montgomery. She's going to be doing exhibition. In college, the teams are allowed to put one competitor in exhibition after each of the other team members goes. Her routine will not count toward the team total, but it gives them an opportunity to do their routine in front of the judges and in front of the crowd. So it's a great opportunity for someone who's looking to get into the lineup. So again, this routine will not count toward their team total. Nice handstand. Getting ready for a release move. Straddle Jaeger into an overshoot over the low bar. Really working on that handstand. Little short. Giant with a half. Into double flip. That was a great routine for an exhibition performance. They've got a lot of depth in that squat on bars.
When you talk about playing yourself into the lineup, maybe that's the routine you want then.
And this dismount's a great one. I love watching these. It's a blind landing, very difficult, but stuck that landing.
And so that'll wrap it up on bars for Minnesota, and the Pioneers all wrapped up on vault. And so the Pioneers and Gophers will get set as we continue. Denver Gymnastics ahead. We roll on Altitude. We're back inside Magnus Arena. Matthew McGreevy alongside Marcy Jenkins, and we are through one as the Pioneers went to work on the vault, and Minnesota Golden Gophers going to the bars. And so we will take a look at the results from that. And it looks like it turns out to be a 49.050 for Denver.
They had a great vault. You know, last week they only had a 48.85, so this is an improvement for them. You can see Emily Glynn's score around a 9.725. They would expect to get a little higher from her, but they are definitely improving as we go through the season.
And Maddie Carr with a 9.9, and that will lead the way for the Pioneers. We take a look at Lexi Ramler there for Minnesota.
Again, beautiful routine, great execution, tiny little movement on the landing, but otherwise a perfect routine.
No question about that. Lexi Ramler, we talked about her on the outset, and there's Maddie Carr, and here is the performance that earned her a 9.0.
Again, that little hop in the landing, but really no other deductions.
And so now we see Minnesota's score here, and they end up with a 49.125, and pacing the way, as we just saw, Lexi Ramler with that 9.9. Excuse me, that was Maddie Carr as well.
Great, strong performance for them on the bars, exactly what they wanted to do. 49.125, so they're leading the Pioneers by just a little bit right now going into the second rotation.
And so the second rotation is where we are headed. The number 2 Denver Pioneers coming up on the bars next. That's ahead, DU Gymnastics on Altitude. We are back inside Magnus Arena, just about ready to start the second rotation. The Pioneers started on vault. The Gophers started on the bars. And now we'll flip-flop, and we take a look at Denver's lineup. That'll start with Alexandria Ruiz, go to Mia Sundstrom, AK Subject, Lindsey Brown, Emily Glynn, and then Maddie Carr.
They have a strong lineup on bars. Great execution. You'll see a lot of those really difficult dismounts that we saw toward the end of the Minnesota rotation right off the bat.
Last meet, the Pioneers with a 49.275 score on the bars. It was a program record for the first meet. And now we take a look at what Minnesota will bring on the vault. It'll be Hallie Remlinger to start off, then Ali Saunier, Maddie Quarles, Paige Williams, Lexi Ramler, and Anna Loper. As mentioned, Minnesota, this is their first meet, so no scores. They set the bar here and they go from there. Pioneers had a great opening meet. Their overall score was 196.7, and that, just like their bar score, was a program record for the first meet of the season.
They really did come out wanting to show everyone that they absolutely did deserve to be in that final competition last year at NCAA Nationals, and that they're here to really fight for that top position.
No fluke. No fluke. Melissa Kutcher-Reinhardt, head coach of the Pioneers in her 22nd year. And last year got this program farther than they have ever been, certainly looking to replicate that performance, and they get a lot of talent back as well.
And she was awarded the National Coach of the Year last year, and the assistant coaches at the time at DU were also awarded the National Coaches of the Year. Just shows how much the entire gymnastics community really thinks that they're doing an amazing job here at Denver.
Should mention, too, Jenny Hansen, the head coach of the Gophers, was the Big Ten Coach of the Year last year. So a coaching battle. Now we get a look at Hallie Remlinger. It'll be her first appearance on vault, of course. Freshman competing in the all-around.
And Hallie's doing a Yurchenko full. A little bit of a hop and a pike down. She was a little crooked as well, so didn't quite finish her block before started twisting. You can see she starts twisting a little bit right off the horse. Caused her to be a little bit crooked and had to pike down on that landing, but a strong start for them.
It brings up Alexandria Ruiz for the Pioneers on the bars.
Alexandria had a great season last year. Nice giant full to handstand. Reverse hecht, again, that adds them some additional bonus tenths. Nice handstand. Really been working on making sure there's nothing in those for the judges to take off. Nice finish there as well on that handstand, and getting ready for her dismount. You see a double layout here. And just a little slight movement there, but her feet stayed put. We'll have to see what the judges do with that landing, but watch the height here. Beautiful position in the air. Just chest a teeny bit forward might be a slight deduction, but a great start for the Pioneers on bars.
Ruiz scored a 9.9 last meet. And you take a look at what she did last season as well. Next up will be Ali Saunier. We see her there.
See her season high is a 9.875. Another Yurchenko full. Great job, little hop on the landing. Got a lot of great distance from the vault because you use a little bit more height. But she gets good block, just takes it back a little bit. Little hop on the landing, but another great vault for them.
Mia Sundstrom out of Boulder, Colorado will go next for the Pioneers. In her career, she is at a 9.925 on the uneven bars.
We're just waiting for the judges to get ready to give her the signal to go, and she's ready to start. Mia's a native to Colorado. Nice free hip handstand. Beautiful reverse hecht. Overshoot to low bar. Nice handstand there. And getting ready for her dismount. Really fighting for those landings. I just love to see that. Even if they're just a little bit off and their shoulders are a little forward, they're really fighting not to move those feet. And that's what's going to get them when they get to the postseason competition. They're already used to those sticks and really fighting for it. Great job.
We see there in the hair of the gymnasts today, and all of them, we see these blue ribbons, and we should mention those are to show support for the Southern Connecticut State University gymnastics team and honor the life of their gymnast, Melanie Coleman, who passed away during the preseason. Here it comes up from Maddie Quarles.
Maddie Quarles was at DU last year, transferred to Minnesota. Beautiful vault. She had some injuries last year and wasn't able to compete for the Pioneers. Beautiful Yurchenko 1.5. Comes from the same gym as Maddie Carr. Great job. Slight movement on the landing, but a beautiful vault.
Lots of emotion from the Gophers there. And excitement for Maddie Quarles in her return to Denver. AK Subject will be next for the Pioneers. Comes from the Twin City Twisters, as does Maddie Carr, so they have that in common. Maybe a little mentorship going on between the senior and the freshman. AK Subject posted a 9.825 on bars in the Pioneers' first meet.
You see her just doing a little bit of mental preparedness there for this bar routine. She's always smiling. I see her smiling at practice, smiling throughout the day.
There's not many who aren't, I'll tell you that.
This team is really positive. A little short on that handstand, but nice toe hand into a release to the high and then overshoot to low. Beautiful handstand. And that overshoot, difficult to make that handstand. Little short on that one. Getting ready for her dismount, double layout, and a stuck landing. So left a little bit on a couple of those handstands, but that double layout was beautiful. You can see the toe hand, beautiful transition up to the high bar. And then the overshoot to handstand, that's very difficult to do from that release. Then her double layout, look at that. No movement at all. Chest up, absolutely beautiful.
And a big smile like you talk about. Got to finish with that. That's the key. Paige Williams will be up next for the Golden Gophers.
Paige is a great vaulter. Beautiful full twist. I'm pretty sure she's capable of adding another half to that. Really broke out and had to take a big step. Had a lot of power. Watch the height she gets here. Full twist, tons of time. She just piked down a little bit. Probably could have stuck that landing.
From Kansas City, Missouri, it's Lindsey Brown.
Lindsey, our national floor champion from last year. Super strong on bars.
8-time 2019 All-American in the regular and postseason.
Lindsey is a great combination of power, flexibility, and grace. Beautiful transitions to pack salto, handstand. Again, difficult transition to the high bar. She does so much in combination right there. It's absolutely beautiful. Getting ready for her dismount, a double layout, and a slight step on the landing. But other than that, that was an absolutely perfect routine. Watch this, transition to the high bar. She's just perfect body position. Watch her layout. We'll see her do a double layout again on floor. Beautiful position, just a tiny little step on the landing.
It'll be Lexi Ramler's turn, the regular season and NCAA Championship All-American.
And Lexi does a 1.5 twist and a stuck landing. So let's watch here. She gets lots of block, 1.5 twist, little bit of bent legs in the air. That's the only thing that I think the judges could potentially take off was just right before that landing, but you also have to bend them to land, so we'll see what the judges do with that vault. It was absolutely beautiful.
It's Emily Glynn next for Denver. Had a 9.825 on bars in the first meet. Gets it done in the classroom as well. 2019 academic all Big 12 team last year.
Emily had a little mistake at one point in her bar routine toward the end last meet, but covered it up so well. Just showed really the grit that this team has in fighting for it, fighting for every single piece of these routines. Nice handstand, free hip to handstand right on top of the bar. Piked Jaeger. Another beautiful handstand right on top. Overshoot to low again. Great form here. Just beautiful to watch on bars. Nice handstand. And she's going to do a full twisting double flyaway. A little tiny step on the landing, but that was absolutely beautiful. You can see the level of difficulty in these routines. Just a level up from what we saw Beautiful full twisting double flyaway. Tiny little movement, maybe a half a tenth on that, but great job for her on bars.
Well, you talk about that, maybe something she wanted to correct after the January 4th meet, and she has some time, comes back today and gets it done. And now it's Anna Loper up next for the Golden Gophers.
You can see that season high 995. She bounced a little bit low on the board, it looked like, and wasn't quite able to get the block she's used to. See, she hits the board a little bit in the middle, just a little short on that, so not quite enough rotation, not quite enough block off of the table to get the landing she was looking for, but a strong vault.
Here's Maddie Carr, who scored a 9.9 on vault and also scored a 9.9 on bars. The bars was the last meet, of course. She'll get mentally prepared there, zoning in.
Maddie is super focused.
Stillwater, Minnesota, so she's going up against a team that very likely she saw growing up.
Maddie is a data and analytics major in the Daniels College of Business. Nice handstand, giant full right on top. Beautiful Ginger. She does one of the best in the nation. Back to the high bar. Handstand, beautiful. Right on top. All she has left is the dismount. And a stuck landing. That was gorgeous. We'll see what the judges do with that routine, but that was absolutely beautiful. Watch this. Double layout, beautiful height, stretch position, and no movement whatsoever. It's hard to imagine she had knee surgery not too long before the season. She's already back and showing everyone she's here and is ready for this final season as a Pioneer.
Not messing around. Kristen Quillia is up next for Minnesota. This will just be an exhibition, so this one won't count toward the score.
Yurchenko full. You can see why she's up in exhibition, just a little slow off the horse, not quite as much block, had to pike down and take a little step forward, but again, good practice for her. Just a difference in the height and the block that we saw from the other gymnasts. Little low, see she finishes the twist with her head below the table. They really want it to be above.
Pioneers will have an exhibition as well. It'll be the freshman Natalie Morton.
Natalie's really working to try to get in this lineup. She's a strong bar worker. The score from Maddie Carr was just a 9.95. Absolutely beautiful finish for her on bars. Free hip to handstand. Nice to Tkachev. Transition to the low bar, a little bit short on that. She's really been working those handstands. Getting ready for a dismount, double layout. Nice job. A little bit of pike down, so just lacking a teeny bit of rotation there on that double layout, but a great job. That is a strong routine to have for an exhibition performance.
An exhibition performance, so again, won't count, but even so, Natalie Morton certainly trying to battle her way into that lineup, and well, a good performance there in the Pioneers' just second meet of the season, and it's a tough lineup to crack. Second ranked in the nation, the highest ranking for the program. The highest last year, 4, of course, when they got that far, made it to nationals, and now they're looking to do a repeat performance. And we're through 2 rotations here on Altitude. We'll continue as we look ahead to the beam and the floor exercises. That's next. It's DU Gymnastics from Magnus Arena here on Altitude. We are back inside Magnus Arena. Number 2 Denver Pioneers gymnastics team taking on the Minnesota Golden Gophers through 2 rotations. And the Pioneers just wrapped up on the uneven bars and good performances across the board. And we'll take a look at what those were. They come out to a score of 49.3.
Which is great compared to last meet. They were just at the top of the 49.275. So great to see them just adding a little bit more to their scores. And again, a few of those landings, and they're going to be up in the 49.4 range.
A 9.95 for the senior Maddie Carr, and I can't imagine that surprises you.
And this is that great vault from Maddie.
There's Maddie Quarles.
Great to see her back in the lineup and doing such a great job on vault. And then Lexi Ramler, again, a beautiful vault as well. 2 powerful Yurchenko 1.5s for them. And then this is Maddie Carr on bars. Such a beautiful bar routine. And then to top it off with this dismount, absolutely stuck landing.
And we take a look at the Gophers score from the vault, and a couple 9.9s there, one for Maddie Quarles and one for Lexi Ramler.
Again, strong vault rotation for them as well. They're going to be very happy with this first performance of the season.
The Pioneers look ahead to the beam, and that is the rotation where they are the strongest. They are top ranked in the country, and right now we're going to take a look at the upcoming schedule as well. The Pioneers will continue on January 17th as they take on Arkansas on the road. But that 25th, the January 25th matchup has to be the one they're keyed in on with Oklahoma, Georgia, and Alabama. Oklahoma number 1, Denver number 2. The Big 12 is sitting pretty right now, Marcy.
That's going to be a great competition just to see those top schools come together and see how they all kind of play out on the same playing field.
And this upcoming schedule presented by your hometown Toyota stores. So the Pioneers going to the beam next, in the area where they are the strongest. That's what's ahead. It's Denver Gymnastics on altitude. Back in Magnus Arena, we take a look at the Denver lineup for the beam, where they're the strongest first in the country, and Alexis Vasquez will be going 6th. She had a perfect 10-0 at the last meet. She will be the one that we will key in on, and we also take a look at Minnesota and how they will line up for the floor exercise.
Strong performances here in Minnesota. We'll see some great tumbling as they move on through the rotation.
So first for the Pioneers will be Lindsey Brown, and you see how she scored last year.
Lindsey is a really just confident beam worker. She starts right off with this combination. Very difficult. You really want the first person up in your lineup to be someone you can depend on, you know is going to be solid and consistent. And they have such depth in this beam team. Lindsey plays this role perfectly. She has great amplitude on her leaps and jumps. Beautiful execution in the split. Aerial walkover into a jump. Nice combination. I mentioned those combinations really give those extra bonus 10s to get to the 10.0 start value. And her dismount. Nice stuck landing. I'm going to be surprised what the judges find to take off in that routine. That was absolutely beautiful. Right over the middle of the beam the entire time. Watch this dismount, gainer full. You can see the height she gets finishing with her head above the beam. Great job.
Last week she had a 9.85. And so we go to the floor. It'll be Caitlin Higgins to lead things off for the Golden Gophers.
Caitlin's a sophomore out of Wisconsin. Front handspring double twist. Nice scissor side. Into a split full jump. Great job on the leap combination. See most of the gymnasts doing 3 tumbling passes. Some of them actually just do 2. There's a 1.5 into a front layout. Teeny bit short on that. Stepped backwards, but great second pass. Something that I love about college gymnastics is the showmanship of each of these floor routines. They really do get the crowd going and have a great time. It's just fun to see these athletes coming from being so focused during JO, Junior Olympic. Nice Rudy dismount. A little bit crooked on that, but lots of strong tumbling and leaps in this routine. That was a great start for Minnesota on floor.
Get another look at that.
Again, this is a front handspring double twist. Not a lot of gymnasts do that first pass. She did a great job. And then her 1.5 twist into front layout. See, her feet are a little bit in front of her there, but great job.
Alexandria Ruiz will be next for the Pioneers from Lake Mary, Florida. She had a 9.825 last meet, and her career mark is a 9.9.
Another very consistent all-around performer for the Pioneers. The freshman class last year really was a staple on this event. Super solid, very confident, difficult leap series there. Those blind landings when you're doing a split jump sideways. It's all about timing and just feel because you can't see where the beam is. Her acro series here, back handspring layout, step out. Love to see those gymnasts moving right out of those acrobatic series. Full turn. Aerial cartwheel into a split jump. Nice execution. You can see why this Denver squad is the #1 beam team in the nation right now. All she has left is her dismount. Little step on the landing, but otherwise a great routine.
And you talk about how well they're performing on the beam, and then you keep in mind, as you mentioned earlier, that she's just a sophomore. It's going to keep coming.
Acrobatic series right over. See, her shoulders and her hips are right over the center of the beam. And then that dismount, she just over-rotated slightly. I think she just didn't get quite as much distance away from the beam that she usually does, but that was a great routine.
Ali Saunier will be next for the Gophers, the sophomore. Competing on vault, bars, and then this floor routine here. Sussex, Wisconsin.
You can see the head coach there in the gray pants just to her left. Double pike, great height. That second leap was a little bit shy of that split, so the judges will take a bit of a deduction there. Front full into a front layout. One more pass. See her resting up a little bit here. 1.5 into a front pull. Great job, little low on that landing, but nice second routine from Minnesota on floor.
Rosalie Saunier.
This is that first pass. Watch the height she gets, double pike. Great landing. Exactly what the judges want to see. And then this is that last pass, 1.5 twist into a front layout. Little bit low there, had to step backwards, but great job. No major deductions in that routine at all.
Amori Lockhart will be next to the Pioneers, and this is really where the freshman will shine. As last meet, she had a 9.825 on beam. It tied for the third highest for a Denver freshman in program history.
And Armory graduated high school early to join the University of Denver. Very powerful athlete. Also beautiful to watch on the beam. Little crooked there on that. Is able to hold on. Just really showing the fight here. Split jump. Good recovery. Little slight deduction there on that movement with that front foot, but great height on that acro series. Feet jump into a split 3/4. And that full turn. Great flexibility. Really attacking that beam. And her dismount. Beautiful job. Unfortunately, that little bobble she had at the beginning, usually that's connected to another jump. So we'll see what the judges do with her start value, but beautiful. Look at that. I can't spring that, so it's just slight movement. That'll be a very small deduction. And then her dismount, if I can spring into a gainer full, no movement. Again, those stick landings really do make it up when you've had a little mistake in the middle of the routine because you're not leaving anything else for the judges to take off.
Here's another freshman, this time for the Gophers, Hallie Remlinger, and of course it's her first appearance on the floor as it's the Gophers' first meet.
Something that you'll hear different in the floor routines than we have in the past is they're actually allowed to have some vocals in their floor music now, which wasn't the case in the past. Double pike. Beautiful first pass. You'll notice the use of the mat on the floor. In college gymnastics, they're allowed to have that mat. They just have to make sure the lines are there so the judges can see if they were to step out of bounds. Really doing a great job showing this routine. One and a half into a front layout. Last pass. Double tuck. Nice height on that last pass as well. And that was a great routine. They are having a strong floor rotation. And that first pass again. Beautiful double pike. And double tuck at the end. Great job.
That was Hallie Remlinger. We were just watching, and now it'll be Mia Sundstrom, the Colorado native. Airborne Gymnastics, her former club. She had a 9.85 on the beam last meet, and in career, she has a 9.925.
Her warm-up looked beautifully confident. She does a very difficult leap series coming up a little bit later in the routine. Start off with her acrobatic series here. Little crooked on that. Could be up to a 0.3 of a point deduction for that. Is able to stay on the beam. Aerial cartwheel right over the middle. Scissor split leap into a scissor half and another split jump. Very difficult. That scissor half is a leap that not many gymnasts in college gymnastics are doing now, and she does it absolutely beautifully. And then her dismount. Great job. She'll be disappointed with that little bobble there on her handspring layout step out. I saw her nail a number of those in warm-ups, but again, really fought for that landing. Here's that leap series. Watch, beautiful leaps. Great job. And then nice height and distance away on that gainer.
So last season's All-American for the Gophers, Lexi Ramler, all Big Ten as well, one of 5 to get that distinction for Minnesota last year. She will take to the floor.
I'm just waiting for the judges.
Marcy, you mentioned that when Lexi was linked up with Denver last year in Denver's run, as she was representing individually, you said many of the pioneers, they kind of gravitate and they really take her under their wing.
That's the great thing about college gymnastics and the national championships. Those individuals that do qualify for the all-around outside of their team, they really do become a part of that team that they're rotating with. And every single team, I can't say it was just the pioneers, every single team that had one of those all-arounders with them really brought them into the fold. And it's hard to compete by yourself. And so it's just really, really helpful for those teams. So it's already a great relationship built up here between, beautiful first pass between Lexi and the Denver Pioneers as well. And Lexi's a great dancer. One of the things that makes one of those great gymnasts, beautiful leap series, is their ability to not only have the power for vault and the ability to swing and have those great releases and rhythm on bars, but the confidence on beam and then this explosiveness plus the dance on floor. A little short on that for handspring double twist. Just looked like she took off a little bit wrong, but was able to recover and cover it up a little bit. Then one pass left. 1.5 into a double twist. It's a lot of tumbling to do at the very end of the routine. Great job. Just that little mistake there on the middle tumbling pass. Otherwise, a great floor routine.
We'll take another look at her routine.
Here's that beautiful first pass, double pike. Look at that position in the air. And then a 1.5 twist. Lots of tumbling here into a double twist. When you're tired at the end of the routine, it's great to see her finish with that. The judges will definitely keep that in mind as they score this routine.
From one All-American to another, we got a Maddie Carr for Denver. She was the 2019 Big 12 champion in 3 distinctions. One of them, well, pardon me, not on the beam. Maybe she's going for it this year.
She's very confident on the beam. You'll see this first series here. Aerial cartwheel into a back handspring, right over the middle of the beam. full turn. She's very precise with her movements. Side summy. Again, that connection will gain her the bonus 10s to get to the 10-0 start value. Beat jump into a split full. Looks super confident in this routine today. And then her dismount. Beautifully stuck landing. I don't know what they're gonna take off in that routine. That was absolutely beautiful. Round off. I mentioned at the beginning, she's like a cat. She just knows where those landings are and sticks her feet and doesn't move.
A great performance from Maddie Carr for the Pioneers on the beam. And Anna Loper comes up next, the junior competing in the all-around from Bluffton, South Carolina for the Gophers.
Punch front layout into a 1.5. Nice height. You can see just the punch she gets out of the floor. Scissor ring into another leap. Great job. Two and a half twist. Right into dance out of it. Showing that control on that second pass. Nice flexibility in that full turn. One pass remaining. One and a half into a front layout. Little short on that landing. That was a great routine. Again, a little bit low on that landing. Just lacked a bit of rotation to land straight up and down on that last skill. That first pass, punch front layout into a Rudy, 1.5 twist. Great height, great body position. And then the second pass is a 2.5 twist, 1, 2.5. Great job.
Up next, the Pioneers' top-ranked beam team is Alexis Vasquez, and this should be a good one. Vasquez had a perfect 10-0, just the second perfect beam score in DU history and the first under Kutcher Reinhardt.
And she's a sophomore this year. Last year was just very, very consistent on this event. Watch this combination here. Front handspring, or aerial walkover into back handspring layout step out. The great thing I love about her is her athleticism and those acrobatics, but look at those jumps. Just great split. And then you'll see this full turn, very difficult. Absolutely beautiful. Not many gymnasts do that, and she does it just gorgeous. And another beautiful leap, and all she has left is her dismount. An aerial cartwheel into a back full. And another stuck landing! That is absolutely amazing. For her to be able to do that 2 weeks in a row, we'll see what the judges do. But watch this. Front aerial walkover into back handspring layout step out right over the middle of the beam. Very difficult to do in combination. And then this dismount, aerial cartwheel, full, no movement.
When you're hot, you're hot. Lots of 10s going up in the crowd here. We'll see how the score comes out, but even so, it has been a great start to the season for Alexis Vasquez, especially on the beam. And now it'll be Paige Williams.
This is a floor routine I love to watch. She's very dynamic. It's a fun music choice as well. Beautiful first pass. They really have done a great job with their dance and their floor routines. Look at that beautiful flexibility and height on those leaps. Into a front layout. See the height she had there. They may take a little bit of a deduction for that extra hop, but great amplitude on those. And a little bit short. Looks like she got a lack of punch there on that Rudy and had to have her chest down a little bit, but a strong finish for them. Not the best floor routine we've seen from her, but definitely a great job.
That was Paige Williams. We see it here again.
So again, we saw a double twist. Great job. And then the 1.5 twist into a front layout.
So now an exhibition, another exhibition coming up for the Pioneers. It's a freshman, Emma Brown. She comes from Chow's Gymnastics. She's an Iowan, 5-time JO Nationals qualifier.
And Emma has beautiful lines. Aerial walkover into a back tuck. Tiny little bobble there, but great cover up. Sheep jump. That last leap there is difficult to do because you lose sight of the beam. Gains her some difficulty value. Aerial cartwheel right over the middle. Again, each of these gymnasts is really fighting for their spot in this lineup. They have so much depth on this event. Nice full turn. And that was a great exhibition performance. Again, the depth of this team on beam is absolutely amazing. Melissa's done such a good job helping them stay focused and confident that they can hit every time. Beautiful dismount, gainer full off the side. Really working on those landings.
An exhibition performance there from the freshman Emma Brown for the Pioneers. It'll be Carson Cronin, who is now set for a floor exhibition for the Gophers. Cronin, a Massachusetts native, a sophomore.
Double pike. Nice height on that, chest up on the landing. A little short on that second leap there. Judges are looking for you to get all the way around on those turns. Just a slight under rotation. Punch front layout and a punch front tuck. I'm pretty sure that's not what she had intended to do, but great cover up, knowing she didn't get the bounce she needed for that second skill. double tuck. You see the coach spotting her there. That will be a deduction, but again, this score won't count toward the team total. It's really giving her that opportunity to do this in front of the crowd and the judges. And a great experience for her. Not the routine she wanted, but very good for her to get out there and get this one out of the way. Double pike was absolutely beautiful. Just a little mistake on that second pass. And then, again, having a little help here on this last pass, but she's definitely working on building up to doing it by herself.
That was Carson Cronin. Just an exhibition floor performance for her. And so we are through 3 rotations. The Pioneers' top-ranked beam team, led by Alexis Vasquez. And we'll see what the team score was. We'll see how Alexis did. And we'll get an idea of where we are through 3 rotations. Pioneers will go to the floor next. You are watching Denver Gymnastics on Altitude. We're back at Magnus Arena through 3 rotations. All that's left is the floor, but first we'll take a look back at what we just saw. And for the Pioneers, it was an impressive performance on the beam.
And Alexis Vasquez at 9.975, so close to another 10, but great job. We had the 9.9 from Maddie Carr, 9.9 from Lindsey Brown, little bit of mistakes from Alexandra Louise and on her dismount and Mia Sundstrom, but overall a great beam. They are going to be proud of it. It's not as high as they had last week, but a great strong score again for them.
Denver with the top-ranked beam team coming in, second ranked in the country overall, and here's Maddie Carr.
And you see that aerial cartwheel into back handspring, side stummy, and this dismount, just absolutely beautiful stuck landing.
And Alexis Vasquez.
And that combination series right over the center of the beam, that beautiful full turn, and her dismount. Great job.
And we also get a look at Minnesota on the floor here.
And that beautiful double pike starting out. That last pass, absolutely beautiful. Just a tiny mistake on that front double twist in the middle pass, but strong performance.
And we'll get a peek at the Gophers score, how they did. It's a 48.925, and they are paced by Lexi Ramler, who we just saw, with a 9.825.
And they really wanted some 9.9s, and that's what they're going to be looking for later in the season, but it was a strong rotation for them.
So all that's left is the floor exercise for the Pioneers and the beam for the Gophers. That's ahead, the number 2 Denver Gymnastics team. One more rotation here on Altitude. Back at Magnus Arena for the final rotation in the Pioneers' first home meet. Taking on Minnesota, we get a look at Denver's lineup for the floor exercise. And who will you be keying in on, Marcy?
This is going to be a great lineup. So I'm really excited to see Emily Glenn as well as Maddie Carr, Armory, and Lindsay. But AK and Alexander are going to really set up this rotation for strong scores toward the end.
We'll get a peek at what Minnesota will bring as they head to the beam in this final rotation.
They're going to be anchoring with Lexi Ramler. You can see all the names there. They are a strong beam team as well. Really want to stick these routines and catch those connections. So we'll look for them to finish strong. And if we think about it, the scores right now running at the end of the third rotation, the Pioneers are up by just a little bit less than a fall, than 0.5 of a point. So they are leading third rotation after the third rotation.
The Pioneers are tied for 7th in the nation on the floor. NCAA co-champion Lindsey Brown will be one to watch, certainly, among others.
She has a beautiful double layout. One that you could recognize anywhere as being Lindsay. She just does it so beautifully.
Picked up her first floor title of the season with a 9.95 to secure Denver's win at the Collegiate Challenge in their first meet of the season. Great energy here at Magnus Arena.
We have a great crowd here. For those of you who haven't been able to come to a meet live, you absolutely should sometime this season. It's really exciting. The teams are fun to watch. just a great venue here at Magnus.
And how about a shout out to the conversion crew here at Magnus Arena as well. A couple hockey games here this weekend. They get to work overnight. They have it ready to go, and it's another full crowd. So the Pioneers hoping to cap what has been a good weekend across the board for the athletic department. Hopefully can secure the victory in this final rotation that, again, will start on the floor for the Pioneers, but first on the beam for the Gophers, and it'll be Ali Saunier to get it kicked off. The sophomore gets ready to go.
Nice variation there for her mount. Handspring layout step out right over the middle of the beam. And you really want this first performer to be someone that's solid, you can depend on. Beat jump into a split 3/4. Another beat jump into a standing layout step out. Little bit of balance check there. Slight deduction. And then back handspring, one arm back handspring into a 1.5. Little hop on the landing. That's unfortunate because that dismount is super difficult. Had she stuck that, we definitely would have, even with that bobble, maybe even seen a 9-8, but with that step on the landing. So watch this. One arm, that's the back handspring layout step out right there. And then the back handspring, one arm back handspring into a 1.5 twist. Beautiful, but just a little bit crooked and had to take a hop forward.
It'll be Alexandria Ruiz's turn. This season has a 9.825 in the floor exercise. Came to Denver from Ace Gymnastics. She's a sophomore and one of the many Pioneers that we'll be watching for a couple more years after this.
You see that big smile. Double tuck. Nice landing. It's really fun to see her come out of her shell a bit. I think she was a little bit shy last year, but really showing nice leap series there. Again, the judges want to see her make that full twist and the split all the way around. One and a half into a punch front layout. Nice height. Nice job getting the crowd involved in her routine. You can hear the stands clapping. Last pass, double pike. Great job. Very difficult to end with a double pike, and they do get some additional value from ending with a more difficult skill. That was a great routine for a tiny bit low on that last pass, but that middle pass, great job. You can see the height there. Good form and body position. And watch this, super hard to do at the end of your routine, a little bit low, but just a tiny step forward.
That was Alexandria Ruiz. The Pioneers first in the floor exercise. And now Ivy Lou's turn, and she'll go to the beam. The senior competes in the bars and the beam, Montreal, Quebec.
You saw there in the graphic, she has had a 9-9 in the past on this event. You can see just behind her the score for Saunier was a 9.775. Layout step out, a little bit of balance check, but able to hold on. Another one of those split halves right into a beat jump. Really has recovered nicely from that first little bobble she had. Side summy. And a gainer full off the side. Tiny little hop on the landing, but other than that balance check, that was an absolutely beautiful routine.
Take another look at that.
And this is a really great side summy. You can see they're formed, the position, the air was absolutely perfect. Great job. And then her cartwheel into a beautiful that. I loved her position in the air on that. Just beautifully straight. Tiny hop on the landing.
So up next, AK Subject for the Pioneers, the freshman. The Twin City Twisters tied for 4th in the all-around of the 2019 JO Nationals. A big get for Kutcher, Reinhardt and company.
And score last week wasn't exactly what she was looking for, so I know she wants to do a great job on this event today. Double pike, great height. Punch front layout into front full. That'll gain her some additional connection bonus. A little bit low on that second jump in terms of the split, but was able to make the rotation all the way around. Really showing personality here in the dance. One final tumbling pass left. Double tuck. Little low, but slight hop forward. Much better than last week. Here's that really beautiful first pass, double pike. You can see she's happy with that landing. And then the punch front layout into front full. Nice second pass.
You see AK Subject having a word after her routine. Anna Loper is next. She was one of 5 who were tabbed all Big Ten for the Gophers last year.
Handspring layout, step out, right over the middle. Great flexibility. Nice connection. Split on both of those leaps. This has been a great routine so far for Minnesota. And Aller dismount, 1.5 twist. Oh, little hop on the landing. That was an absolutely beautiful beam routine, just that little hop. So we won't see a 10 from her today, but that was a great routine.
That was Anna Loper.
She got great height on this. Just had to take a step. Little bit of a hop forward. See the height there, great position. Just a little bit unsure of that landing.
And so Emily Glynn will prepare for her floor routine, and this the final rotation. Emily Glynn scored a 9.7 in the last meet, but in her career, a 9.85 mark.
absolutely beautiful dancer. She's also very powerful. Punch front into a double tuck. Beautiful split. Double pike. Beautiful finish. So that's one of those routines where we only have 2 tumbling passes, but because she has enough difficulty in her leaps and in those tumbling series, she doesn't have to do 3 passes. So we have this first pass, a punch front into a double tuck. Her chest is a teeny bit low. They might take a teeny bit off there on that step forward, but watch this last pass. Beautiful height and position in the air. Great job for the Pioneers on floor.
That was the junior Emily Glynn. And up next, Mary Corlin Downs will get the call for the Gophers. This will be the first time she competes today. From Lake Elmo, Minnesota. She is one of 7.
That was a really awesome mount.
One of 7 from Minnesota.
I love to see the gymnasts do original mounts like that. So do the judges. Like handspring, layout, step out. Little balance check, but able to hold on to that one. Beat jump, split jump into a ring jump. Really doing a great job keeping this routine moving. Aerial cartwheel, full twist, and a stuck landing. Other than that little bobble on her acro series, that was a great routine. Again, aerial cartwheel into a full twist. Nice stuck landing. Nice height and beautiful landing.
And so a roar from the crowd as it's announced that Maddie Carr will get set for her routine. Last meet, she had a 9.875 on the floor. In her career, a 9.95.
Double twist, great job. That was really high. That's one of the best I think I've seen her do. Stayed in bounds, so it won't be a deduction there. This really is a fun routine for Maddie. She does such a beautiful job with those leaps. Dancing right out of them. Nice, 1.5 into a front full. Again, another 2-pass routine. That was beautiful. Maddie coming off of knee surgery before the season. It doesn't look like she took any time off. She looks just like she did toward the end of this season last year. Look at this beautiful double twist. Great job. And then this final pass, a 1.5. This will get her bonus 10s into a front full. Beautiful routine.
Tiari Salas is up next for the Gophers on the beam. Competed in the bars earlier.
Moving well so far.
She's a sophomore.
Acrobatic series, 2 back handsprings to a layout step out. Beautiful. We don't see a lot of 3 skill acro series in NCAA competition. Nice job on those leaps. Great height above the beam. Very confident. And gainer, stuck landing. That was a beautiful routine for Minnesota. And here's this, back handspring, right over the middle of the beam. Very difficult to do. And her dismount, that gainer off the end, spots that landing, and stuck.
That was Tiari Salas, the sophomore from Henderson, Nevada. And from Fort Worth, Texas, will be Amori Lockhart.
Beautiful full turn. Punch front into double tuck. Great height. She's super fun to watch. Oh. Moonwalk on the floor. Watch these leaps. Beautiful split. Super flexibility. Rudy, a little bit of form separation, but kept her chest up, so maybe a slight deduction. This is her last pass. Double pike, nice landing. Beautiful floor routine, other than that little slight piece of that middle pass. That was absolutely beautiful. She'll be happy with that routine. Punch front is that first pass to a double tuck. Great height, spotted that landing, chest up. And then to finish with this pass, again, the judges love to see them finish with a difficult pass like a double pike, chest up, great landing.
No shortage of energy in that one, Marcy.
She has a lot of energy. Lots of fun to watch.
No question. Always a smile. Crowd gets into it. Little Michael Jackson spice there on the routine as well.
Nice acrobatic series. Coming off of that amazing performance at Nationals, just instills a ton of confidence in a gymnast going into that next season. Beat jump into a ring jump. Great split in that. Aerial cartwheel into a full stuck landing. That was beautiful as well. Exactly how they want to finish that rotation. Beautiful, right over the center of the beam. And this dismount. Aerial cartwheel. Great form in the air, just spot that landing. Beautiful. And here she is, Lindsey Brown, our national champion from last year on floor.
Needs no introduction.
She doesn't need an introduction. Everyone knows who Lindsey is.
What are we in store for here?
And she's such a sweet person. Really fun to be around. This team really has come together as a complete unit this year. Now watch the height on this first pass. Double layout. Almost had too much power, but that was absolutely beautiful. Nice scissor ring into a scissor half. It's what sets her apart from the other gymnasts is not only the athleticism and the beautiful leaps that she has, but just the confidence and how easy she makes it look for everybody. Beautiful second pass right into a jump. One pass left. See if she can stick the landing. Yes, nice landing. Beautiful routine. A little bit of overpowered there on that double layout, but she does that so well. Great finish for the Pioneers on floor. Again, watch the height on this. 2 flips in a layout position, just a little bit of height. They might take a slight deduction there for that extra step with that foot. But then watch this double pike. She doesn't need to take this little step back, but just for balance. Great finish.
Lindsey Brown delivers as expected in front of a great crowd here in Magnus Arena, the Pioneers' first home meet. And Caitlin Higgins will go with a beam exhibition here. This one won't count.
Nice beat jump into a sheep jump. Full turn. Handspring right over the middle. Great job. That was a great leap series. Nice height and amplitude on that scissor side. Handspring gainer full. Little movement with her foot, but that was a great routine. Again, they have a really strong beam team, lots of depth. There's that dismount, nice height, and almost a stick landing. Little slight movement with her feet. You can see here, just not quite confident on that stick, but great job for them, and absolutely wonderful finish for this meet and for Minnesota's beam team.
Terrific finish both ways. Lindsey Brown for the Pioneers capped it with the floor exercise. And so we're through it all. Now we wait and see what will come out of this, as the results are all that lie ahead. But as you said, Marcy, a terrific meet, outstanding performances, and we'll see how it shakes out. That's next. You're watching the number 2 Pioneers on Altitude. We are back live from Magnus Arena. Matthew McGreevy alongside Marcy Jenkins as we just wrapped up competition between the number 2 Denver Pioneers and the Minnesota Golden Gophers. The Pioneers' final event on the floor, and Lindsey Brown getting it done as expected for the Pioneers.
She had a great floor routine. Again, a little bit of over-rotation there on that first timing pass, but absolutely great job. They had a strong floor. They had a few folks that could have gotten a little bit higher score, and I think toward the end of the season we'll see some more 9-9s in that lineup, but absolutely great performance for them here today.
Denver came in tied for 7th in the nation on the floor, as we get a moment to look at some of the highlights as well as from the beam.
And they had a strong beam. You could see Lexi here with her dismount, stuck landing, really showing in their first meet of the season that they are here and they aren't messing around. They're ready to compete with everyone else. And here's that double layout. Little step backwards, but absolutely beautiful. Again, coming off of that win NCAA championship last year. She knows how to stick those landings and play to the crowd.
And a glimpse at the Gophers' scores, and you see who paced the way for them.
And they did a great job here. I think we're missing a number 5. I think that should be Lexi Ramler. That's Mia Sundstrom from the Pioneers, but the rest of them were all very, very good.
Oh, Mia's sneaking in.
Yeah, I think Mia and Marie, and I think this graphic's a little out, but they had a great beam routine.
A terrific performance from both teams here, and we wrap up a competition, but we don't leave you yet. Up next, a little bit of post-game on Altitude. Pioneer Gymnastics. Well, welcome back to Magnus Arena, where the second-ranked Denver Pioneers, the highest rank in program history, had their home opener taking on Minnesota. For Minnesota, it was their first meet, and the Pioneers, a pretty good showing. Matt McGreevy alongside Marcy Jenkins. And Marcy, what were your takeaways from today's meet?
You know, I think both teams had a great performance today. They both have areas where they can improve, and that's exactly where you want to be at the beginning of the season. But luckily, Denver was able to maintain what they had last week and will stay up there in the rankings, and I think we'll see Minnesota slide into there based on these performances.
Impressive performances across the board, and the Pioneers came in. They were ranked in the top 11 in every distinction as we take a look at how they did on the vault.
And you can see we have 3 gymnasts from the competition, Maddie Carr from the University of Denver, and then Maddie Quarles and Lexi Ramler from Minnesota scoring a 9.9. That's exactly what you want to get. We want to see more of those from both teams as we move through the season, but great performances all around.
Maddie Carr getting it done on the vault. There's no question about that. And as well as, well, pretty much everywhere. Maddie Carr doesn't mess around. She gets it all done, and we take a look at the uneven bars as well, as we'll get a moment here. And Maddie Carr, well, where is she? How about number 1?
Back up to the top again, 995, great job, exactly where she wanted to be. Lexi Ramler, beautiful routine, 99. We actually saw amazing beam routines from both squads today, and they really will be fighting with the rest of the teams that are high in the nation for this bar ranking.
Terrific routines, and it's hard to believe that for Denver, it was only Denver's second meet of the season, and for Minnesota, only their first meet. And so you look at these scores and you think, it's already so high, and it's just going to get even better than that. And we'll look at the beam scores as well and see how the Pioneers and Gophers fared there.
And you see that Alexis Vasquez at 9.975. It was so close to a 10. Lexi Ramler right behind her at 9.95, and Tiara Stills with a 9.925. But look at that, 2 more 9.9s. Great beam performance by both squads. They've got to be happy, exactly where you want to be this time of the season.
The eyes were on Alexis Vasquez after getting that 10 perfect score last meet, and delivers with a 9.975. And of course, the final, the floor. And a lot of great floor performances led by Lindsey Brown.
And not a surprise to see Lindsay at the top of the leaderboard here with a 9.925. Maddie, great job again, coming off of an injury, 9.875. Lexi right behind her. And then strong performances, but again, we'll look to see those bump up above a 9.8 future in the season.
Well, that brings us to our gymnast of the meet, presented by 505 Southwestern. We saw her at the top of a lot of those charts. It's Maddie Carr.
And she's just so well-rounded across all the events. Great at those landings. Beautiful swing on the bars. Beam, we saw her stick this routine. Super high score, just tons of confidence. And she's just a beautiful gymnast to watch. Great dismount there again, that cat-like landing. And then floor routine, having a great time out there, enjoying her senior year as a Pioneer. It's just great to see this coming together for her this season.
High-flying action for all the Pioneers in this meet. Exactly the performance that they were looking to get in just their second meet of the season, coming in with a program high, second ranked in the nation. They're feeling good, and we felt pretty good watching it as well. It was fun to watch, Marcy.
Very fun competition, great crowd here today, and just tells us how much we have to look forward to in the rest of the season here for both teams.
Lots of the season left to go. Well, as we close from Magnus Arena, we thank you for joining us. It's so long as the Denver Pioneers taking on Minnesota. The final scores from this game, this meet rather, a 196.75 for Denver, a 196.475 for Minnesota. That wraps up. This has been your second-ranked Pioneers gymnastics team. The next telecast will be DU Hoops against South Dakota January 30th at 7 p.m. That's what we have to look forward to. We thank you for joining us this afternoon. I'm Matthew McGreevy from Marcy Jenkins. So long.